Hi everyone. Okay, so this is the first in a series of videos that I'm going to make to kind of show you the ins and outs of different parts of ENDMS. I'm trying to keep these videos pretty short and sweet so that you can find the video specific to an issue that you might be dealing with. So today we're just going to start right at the top with creating rosters and entering a student profile. So to create a roster in ENDMS, all you're going to do is click on this little drop-down button here. There's an action button, and you will click New Roster. At the top, you select the type that you are creating. So this school already has an out-of-school active roster, so I'm going to create their out-of-school follow-up roster. If you put in the 2016-2017 school year, it automatically populates here. Once you have an advisory committee, you can enter their information here and you click submit, and it will ask you if you're rolling over any participants, and you can either click yes or no, and then that will populate under your little drop-down menu here. In order to create a profile then, what you'll want to do is kind of come up to this navigation bar up here, click enter, profiles, and there's it says enter participant profile. You want to make sure that you're on the right roster over here, so we're on out of school active. You can also see that up here, and then you're just going to go through and start putting in information. For some reason, ENDMS has been doing this thing lately where it automatically populates this stuff right here. This is definitely not my social security number. It's probably my password. I'm not really sure. It's just some kind of glitch in the system. And it doesn't save once we save the information, so just ignore it if it's doing that for you. Okay, so for the sake of this, I'm just going to put in my own information, but then kind of talk through the barriers and so on. So you'll just put in the information for the person, nicknames, you can put that in if you'd like, social security number, there's no need to add that information. Definitely not a requirement. Mailing address, definitely put that in if you have that for the student. And we encourage you to kind of spell everything out. That was my mistake there that I put in the ST. Also, for our data reporting, please, in general, always use the standard capitalization procedures that you would, that were taught in school, capitalizing cities properly like this, capitalizing the first, capitalizing first name, first letter of first name, first letter of last name. Don't use all caps, don't use all lowercase, and so on. So this is automatically populating for me, which is kind of funny, but it probably may or may not do that for you guys. I'm not sure. The more information you can put in here for your students, the better. For example, if you want to put in like mom's phone number instead of a mobile phone, or the school phone number or so on, that's great. So I will show all of you guys my birthday. I hope that you actually remember it. It is not 2017. Oh, I guess I am officially too old to be a JMG student because I was born in 1986, so we'll just say 87. And let's see, February 10th, 88. I have not deceased. And so all of this is generally self-explanatory. School ID. This is really not something that we need the information for, especially our out-of-school program people. Don't worry about including this information. You obviously don't have this information if they are out of school. If they're in school, not really something that we necessarily use, so don't worry about that. Relative and friend information. This is very important. If the student, we aren't able to find them, they kind of become disengaged from the program and we need someone to contact, you need someone to contact, the manager does. So please try and find a reliable person to put in information for here. I'm going to show you guys my mom's information. So again, just most of this is very self-explanatory, and just fill this out. Oftentimes with the kid in front of you is a good idea. Okay, so the profile, the date is the day that you're entering the profile. The grade in school, their current grade. If they are a dropout, select dropout. So not the grade that they were last in, but their current grade. Their school and work plans. So this is obviously why it's important to have the student with you while you're going over this information. You want to get a good sense of what their plans are. So if my current plans right now are to obtain a GED, maybe I'm in a multi-year program, my plans are to graduate from high school. Maybe my plans are to drop out of school. I don't think that will be a common answer, but it is an option. If you would like to put in their, if they have an idea of what their majors are going to be, enlist in military, and if they don't have plans, or other. Employment, you can choose one of those here, and then what their most recent employer is. So I'm just going to say that I am currently employed for, we'll say, Youth Solutions, and I am the operations and training supervisor. I work 40 hours a week, and we'll just say that I'm making $15 an hour. And the day that I started, we'll just say I started on March 1st. Occupational training, you can say no response here. It's pretty easy to say either they're currently enrolled or they're not currently enrolled and not planning to enroll. Okay, these are the areas where we really want to start increasing the responses that we're getting. We understand that, with a lot of the youth that we're working with, that we might not, it might not be the easiest to get this information, but the more detailed information and the less unsures we can get, the greater our reporting can be. That means that the better chance we have for increased funding, the better chance we have to accurately show who we're serving, and so on. So please try as much as you can to get accurate information from your students. If they don't know, or aren't really comfortable sharing this information right away, you can always go back and update it. It might be something good to check in with your kids on a couple times a year. So current living situation, pick whichever one makes the most sense to them. Please limit no response as much as possible. Number in household, this one probably changes a lot with them, so it's, again, that number is not something we use as often, but please include that. These two data points right here we use very often, specifically around reporting first-generation college students. So the options you have are less than a high school diploma or equivalent, some college or post-secondary, completed college, unsure, or no response. Once again, please limit these two as much as possible. A student is considered a first-generation college student if neither of their parents completed a 4-year college program. So even if a student is like 95% sure that their mother did not complete college, you can you work with them to make the best educated guess that you can here about which of these their mother's education is, or first parent. So it's just really, this is a very important data point for us. Same thing with the father. I know that in a lot of cases, you know, some of our students are not having contact with one of their parents, but as much information as they can get around this is very, very important for reflecting the population that you all are serving every day. So if you live with your mother or first parent, is he or she currently employed? There is an option here for does not live with mother or first parent, or just yes or no. Limiting no responses as much as possible again. Free subsidized lunches. Again, really important data point on this one. If students are in a traditional school. If they are in an out-of-school program, you aren't going to necessarily be able to get that data. If they are eligible for free or subsidized lunch, you should very easily be able to get that information from your school office if you are in a traditional school. Cumulative GPA, again, our multi-year teachers, please get this information for us. It needs to be on a point scale. So, and actually, sorry, if you are an out-of-school person, you need to enter something here, even if you don't know it. So just put something in. It's mostly because the system requires it because it is data that is tracked. So it's fine if you're an out-of-school person and you just put something in because we don't track that data for out of school. But if you are multi-year, please put in an accurate number. Absences last school year. For this one, again, if you're multi-year, you should be able to get that information from your office, your data people, and out of school, if you're able to get a general information somehow, you can. If not, we understand that's hard records for you to find sometimes. But so if we have a number for that. Credits toward high school graduation. If your student's enrolling in some kind of GED or diploma program, this is information you should have. If not, you can come back and add it, but these are kind of important points to have as well, of course. So yeah, I actually don't really know anything about high school credits, so I'm just making a guess here. This is one of our most important sections, government assistance. If they're eligible for free lunches, they should be receiving welfare. Or I'm sorry, actually ignore that. This is a barrier at the bottom. But if they are receiving welfare or public assistance or anything like that, please check it. You do not have to scan in and sign a card to send us. If that's an information that they have on file for WIOA, or it's information that they have documented with the school, or it's information that is quite obvious, then that's fine. Class standing, this would apply specifically for our multi-year students, so it's okay if you have no response for out of school. Last high school attended, it's fine if this is just a verbal response from the student that has dropped out, so sorry, this is the out of school only section, so if you're multi-year, you don't need to respond here. So this is where you would put their last grade completed, and it's fine if this is a verbal response, so I'll just say Benton Harbor High School, but you don't need to have documented confirmation that that's the school they attended. Barriers. We're really working toward you confirming at least 4 barriers in the profile. A couple notes on barriers. One being that we work toward removing barriers. We don't delete them, which will be in a separate video I'll discuss. There are going to be several barriers in here that we cannot remove. So for example, this past record of excessive absences, this must have automatically populated when I put in that I had 15 absences. You can't affect something that happened in the past, but it is very important that you are accurately showing the barriers that our students have, because it shows the type of students that we are serving, the types of students that you're working with, the challenges that they have coming into the program, and just the amazing work that you're doing with them to overcome these challenges. So there's no reason to kind of hold back on the barriers you're reporting. We obviously want it to be accurate. We want it to be reflective. But please do not think, oh, I don't want to write in there that the mother didn't graduate from high school because I can't impact that barrier. That tells a story of the challenge that our student has in completing high school and going on to post-secondary. So please, at least 4 barriers, and as many as they are facing. So in this case, you know, this is a situation again where you might find some later as you get to know the student more and they kind of trust you more. You can go in and add them. You won't delete them, but you can definitely add them. So to start, we'll say, you know, low academic performance, past record of absences. There's, you know, if they're parenting, record of violent behavior, homeless. These L1s are for LEAP only, which is a specific program that only our LEAP specialists they know who they are. So please don't select that unless you're a LEAP participant. If one of these applies to your students and there isn't a box for you, would put it in other. I think that many of our students will go under these sections here, which is not having any work experience or lacking marketable occupational skills. What I was saying earlier that I misspoke on is that if you selected that a student qualifies for free and reduced lunch, then they absolutely are economically disadvantaged as defined by public assistance. Similarly, if they're homeless, they absolutely are economically disadvantaged as defined by these things. So don't think that you have to have like some intense government documentation. If a student is receiving free and reduced lunch, if a student is on welfare, if a student is homeless, then they are economically disadvantaged. This data point is an important descriptor for us as well. So let's see, I have at least 4 barriers checked. So now I'm going to save my profile, and as you can see, there are some errors here. So I'm going to go through and fix these. So social security length must not exceed 9 characters, just went and deleted that thing that had automatically populated. Invalid value for last grade completed. So last grade completed. Where did you go? 9th is probably why, so I'm just going to go and put in 9. Recent employer job title must be 30 characters or less. So recent employer job title. So this is too long, so we'll just say operations and training. And then invalid value for wage. So we'll say 15, and we will save again. Data saved successfully. I am now, Kara Purcell is enrolled. And if you click over here, then you will see here is my little demographic profile. here is the big profile that has all that information that if you ever need to go in and change any of that stuff, you can, in terms of the barriers, or any of this information as well. And then in future videos, we will go into more information about working with this information in ENDMS. So I hope that this was helpful. It is rare that you will enter something in ENDMS and a little error message like that won't pop up. So you just kind of have to be patient and work through the little ins and outs of its specific requirements that it wants. So that is entering a student profile, and the next video that we'll be doing, we will be talking specifically about the individual development plan.